to the GPL headquarters. There's a lot to talk about, of course. It's the 17th week of the Ghana Premier League, the only league that matches. And, of course, this weekend, Hearts of Oak will travel up north where they hope to bounce back from another defeat to Great Olympics. Kotoko also hope to bounce back from another defeat to Elmina Sharks. I don't remember the last time the Porcupine Warriors beat Elmina Sharks, and I think Hearts of Oak have not beaten Olympics for a couple of seasons. Are those two clubs turning out to be the bogey teams for them? Anyway, we move forward, and those are the fixtures for this round of matches, week 17. Remember, we just have 2 weeks to wrap up the round. The big one, the massive one, Ghana's El Clasico, will be happening in a fortnight at the Accra Sports Stadium. Kotoko versus Hearts is the home game for Accra Hearts of Oak. But this weekend, they have other interests. As you can see, the fixtures there on your screen. Berekum Chelsea entertain Bichem United. That should be a cracker of a game. That's tomorrow. We begin our countdown tomorrow. Kotoko hosts Accra Lions at the Babayara Sports Stadium on Saturday, the only game being played on Saturday. Then the rest of the games, with the exception of Legon City's Kim Faisal, will be played on Sunday. Let's go through them. Aduana Stars versus 11 Wonders. Bibiani Gold Stars travel to Obuasi where they take on Ash Gold. And Great Olympics, confident and buoyed by their victory over Hearts of Oak, welcome Elmina Sharks. Can Sharks continue their revival after that stunner against Kotoko? Midyama welcome Dreams FC to Takwa. Dreams would have to get back to winning ways soon. RTU and Hearts of Oak, our featured game on Sunday. Remember, the Great Olympics Elmina Sharks match will be on Gold Rush as well. And Wafa entertain Karela. That match, of course, in Sugakope. Legon Cities versus Kim Faisal, as I said, on Monday at the Elwak Sports Stadium. So those are your fixtures. And as it stands now, Kotoko still remain top, 33 points. But look at Bichem. They're not doing too badly at all. Just 4 points separating them. But, of course, Kotoko have a game in hand. And they would hope to gain maximum points this weekend when they host Accra Lions. Kim Faisal have dropped to third. Midyama have risen to fourth. Great Olympics have also climbed up a couple of spaces. In fact, they've jumped over Hearts to fifth position. And Adriana Stars have also dropped out of the top four. So too Hearts of Oak and Karela. Interestingly, Adriana, Hearts, Karela, Olympics were touted to be the boys in that top four. So they've swapped places with Bichem, Kim Faisal, and perhaps Midyama. Those are the standings. Let's take a look at the bottom of the table. And, of course, it shows you that Elmina Sharks, notwithstanding their victory over Kotoko, still remain rooted to the bottom of the Ghana Premier League. And this is the week 16 standings. Of course, it will change after tomorrow's opening game. 11 Wonders are still down there at the bottom. We've got news about a potential change of technical guard there. Wafa, likewise, are struggling. They've been struggling since the departure of Coach Prosper, Dr. Ogum's departure, and a number of key players as well. Legon Cities have climbed out of the relegation zone, but have they really? It's just 18 points, so to have Wafa. So a win for 11 Wonders or Wafa and a defeat or draw for Legon Cities could see them reversing positions at the bottom there. Those are the standings, or that is the standing for week 16 as we approach week 17. Right, so let's take a look at these top scorers. Very interesting. And even in his absence, I think he's missed 5 weeks, or is it 6 weeks? David Abagna, he's still top, joint top, and he's been caught up by Augustine Okra and, of course, Kotoko's Frank Mbella, very strong forward. Maxwell Abekwe was also absent. He's on 7, and Kofi Koji on 7. So it is quite interesting. Let's have a word on that, Jude. Welcome back, Prof. Jude?
Yeah, thanks, Yao.
Jude, there's a lot happening.
Yeah, so much on the local scene.
We may not have time to talk about everything, but let's quickly look at the Goal King charts, and then we'll talk about the Black Stars briefly with respect to Didi, Coach Didi, and then, but the standings.
Yes, and shockingly, Kotoko were one of the teams having the best defense in the Ghana Premier League. Shockingly, they lost that 2-1 to Elmina Sharks last Monday. And so currently, the best defense setup in the Ghana Premier League is Bichem United, only conceded 7 goals. So
strange.
Yes, so you would want to see a lot more tenacity at the back, a lot more organization for teams, because if you go through the Ghana Premier League, many of the teams have conceded quite an amount of goals in there. But if you look at the fixtures, now just go through the standings here. Bechem United conceding only 7 goals. Kotoko have conceded 9 goals, just the same as Midiema, who are also, in good shape at the back, not conceding too many goals. If you're able to keep your defense very tight and well oiled out for matches, then it means that you will not concede that many goals. And if you don't concede a lot of goals, you stay, and fight for top positions in the Ghana Premier League. Now, one thing that we have to also realize that going into the final matches, there are some teams amazingly keeping, that winning mentality. They've not lost in probably the last 5 or 6 matches, and it's doing them good. It's giving them the impetus to move above other teams on the league log. Now, check this thing out. Yeah, Bechem United are yet to lose in the last 9 matches.
Quite a record.
Yeah.
But then, if you watch their play, look at how they set up against Kotoko. They lost that game, but they played very well. Look at how they played against Hearts. They drew that game, but they could have won.
They create the chances.
Conversion is a problem.
I mean, that's the problem. But if you look at Bechem United, what has made them thick is the back. They create the chances and they don't concede that much. Yes, they conceded 2 against Kotoko, but we all know it was a game Bechem could have really done better than they did. And then just after that game, they've been superb. So that's Bechem United there on 29, but just 4 points separating Bechem United and Kumasi Santi Kotoko. Yeah, Brekum Chelsea, they have not lost in the last 5 matches, picking 2 wins and 3 draws. This is amazing. And for the first time in the Ghana Premier League this season, Bechem United, Brekum Chelsea, I must say, has picked a back-to-back wins for the first time in the Ghana Premier League. Then again, Karela are yet to lose in the last 5 matches, and that's Brekum Chelsea there on 21 points.
Karela is another team that have played some very sweet, exquisite football, and I'm surprised they're in 8th position. There they are.
Yeah, they've picked up a lot of draws, and that's not good enough. I mean, you look at the pedigree of Karela. Last season, by this time, they were at the top of the Ghana Premier League, around the top 4, and they were really battling it out there with the likes of Kotoko and Acheampong. But this time around, well, they are picking themselves up, but it's not good enough. They are picking up so many draws, and which is not good. But they are yet to lose in the last 5 matches. Again, Wafa are yet to lose in the last 5 matches. Yeah. Again, they are also picking a lot more draws. 4 draws and only a win in the last 5 matches, which is not good enough. Going into the final round of matches in the first round, there's a lot to talk about. Yeah. For instance, Kinfaisa bounced back again from losing 4 straight matches to win that game against the game they won last week against RTU.
Yes.
Kinfaisa.
In Kumasi.
Now they are coming up against Lagos Cities, who themselves are not in a very good position. You look at Lagos Cities on the league log, and even though they are grinding results, 2 draws, 2 wins, and only a loss in the last 5 matches. Yes, they are out of the relegation zone, but they come up against a resurgent Kinfaisa. Now, if Lagos Cities should lose this game, which they are playing at the Elwak Stadium to Kinfaisa, or draw, it will not be good enough, because if Wafa should win or 11 Wonders should win, Lagos Cities are back into the relegation zone, where I feel they will not want to be before we end the first round. Now you move forward, and R2 are playing against Acheampong. R2 themselves are yet to pick a win in the last 3 matches. In the last 3 away games, they've lost all 3 matches. In the last game, 2 matches they played at home, they are yet to win a game. Yeah, so it's pretty difficult for RTU down there. Without David Abagna and without some key players that they lost, it has been really difficult for Tanko Shaibu to turn things around. This time around, after that performance against Kinfaisa, which they lost by 2 goals to 0, he says he can't afford to lose that game against Acheampong. And Acheampong themselves are not in good shape. After losing the Gamashi Derby to Accra Olympics, they must grind results. They must go to Tamale and do everything all by themselves and beat Real Tamale United. It's a ground only one team has managed to beat Real Tamale United. Midiema is the only team that has managed to do that. So can Acheampong be the second team to do that? We'll wait and see. But big clashes coming up.
Yes,
this week's fixture.
big clashes coming up. And what a way to end the first round. It was postponed, dates changed. Finally, we'll have Ghana's version of the El Clasico coming up in a fortnight. And we're looking forward to that. And this is Acheampong, of course, going through their paces ahead of their game against the Olympics. And, of course, Sule Ali Muntari joining them has boosted them. There's no doubt about it. There he is, second from last on the right side, has definitely boosted him. His presence in the dressing room, his confidence, his experiences. I mean, this guy has played in Champions League finals. He's been at the World Cup, the biggest stage. He's won the Champions League. He's played in the EPL, Serie A, you name it. You have somebody like this in your dressing room, it definitely is riches that comes in. The question is how Hearts of Oak will employ the presence of Muntari.
Well, it's a very good thing. They have a leader. They have a winner in their setup. But you see, yeah, we can give him all the acronyms. We can give him all the words. But Muntari of yesterday is not the Muntari we are seeing today. Now, what I'm looking at Muntari doing for Hearts of Oak is his style of managing the players, teaching them on the field of play. But he himself needs to add up. He has so much quality, but he needs to put in a lot of energy. He needs to show how good he is joining this Hearts of Oak team. He needs to come to party. See, we're not going to say Muntari is 37 years old and he's lost a lot of steam and energy, so we are going to take whatever he brings on board. He was a delight to watch when he came up in that game against Olympics.
And not to cut you, but Muntari's return was covered by literally all the top sports blogs, networks, online. It's traffic for Hearts of Oak. I mean, if you're talking about traffic, it's positive. Teams will start monitoring, not necessarily to have him on their books, but they want to see how is this going. Maybe if it works, they might also be tempted to go in for players who are looking around to see if they should bounce back to the Ghana Premier League. It didn't quite work with Asamoah Gyan, and many are hoping that Muntari would be a different case. And then maybe other players from Black Stars of yesteryear would come in. It would be great to have 5, 6 players retired or nearly at the end of their careers coming back to play, in the Ghana Premier League.
That's what we want. We want to see the old stars coming back to the Ghana Premier League just to hype the euphoria. Yeah, that's very brilliant, Muntari again.
Yeah, his touches were there.
Yes, but you see, was the touches enough for us of folk to come back to level pegging against the Olympics?
Dude,
no.
Simple. One touch.
So yeah, simple no do a bit to me, but he here has of folk were trailing.
Yes, but so you said Penny there, you can see the game. He knows how to look at this corner.
Yeah.
He nearly scored.
Yeah, at the end of the day, let Hearts of Oak go on a losing streak. Nobody will remember that corner kick. People then start to put up the heat and say Muntari by a cry, then why? So as much as we know his professionalism and his pedigree in terms of our Ghana football, he needs to add up. I'm saying
how many minutes? 13 minutes.
Yes, but you see, for a top star like Muntari, give him 10 minutes, he must pick the headlines. And I'm saying, he's a good player. He adds up very well. He's a morale booster. He can teach the players on the field of play. But if he doesn't provide the arsenal,
we should give him pressure right up. There's no time for him
he needs to come to party. At this moment, Hearts of Oak here will be a game changer. He must be the game changer. Other than that, in the next few matches, if Hearts of Oak do not grind results, almost at Sabunidi.
Okay, they're the Phobians on 7th. On 23 points, 10 away from Kotoko. That could be 13 if the Porcupine Warriors, win and Hearts fail to do so. But obviously, you would imagine that this season, apart from, is it Afutu? Who else significantly have the Phobians lost a significant player in their camp?
Apart from Afutu, I feel they've lost the spirit of Hearts of Oak.
So one player. So it's not about the player then?
No, it's not about the player. I mean, when a quality player leaves your fold and you bring in multiples of quality players, a Subontin for Wafa was phenomenal. You bring in Gladson and Wako for Olympics, it was brilliant.
A done deal?
No, yeah, Subontin has been playing for Hearts of Oak. You talk about Konedu Yadom.
Konedu Yadom?
Yadom is traveling out of the country. Because
I saw him at the Accra Sports Stadium.
Yeah, he won't be part of the Hearts of Oak team.
But they wanted him?
They wanted him. I think it was even 75-80% done deal until that European deal came through from Norway. So he's going to go. But you see, when you add up so much quality, Salim Adams was the national under-20 player. Brilliant chap. He comes in into the middle. Then you had Gladson and Wako for Olympics. We all saw the season he had.
The best player for the Olympics.
So you might have lost a Futu, but you bring along some quality additions into your team. So we wanted to see the free-flowing football from Hearts of Oak, the never say die football attitude and spirit. It is not there yet. Something is missing.
What is it?
And I think Coach Bodu needs to change things tactically. And I told you, this season, a lot of teams are going to play against Coach Boadu's tactics. He needs to change things around. He needs to make players play about themselves than the usual thing that they do. Other than that, they are really going to be in trouble.
What's the word to use? The verdict against Hearts was that the selection, Boadu may have gotten the selection wrong. Do you disagree with that? Against Olympics on Sunday.
He got it all wrong, starting Berfi in that game. Now, it's a Gamashi derby. It has a lot of tension. You need players who can produce magic in a tension game. Now, I thought he would have started Kofi Koji up front because, Kofi Koji creates a lot of space. He's a very tough customer. He is the leading top scorer for Hearts of Oak. You need to play him. You need to start him. If Kofi Koji starts games, he's the game changer for Hearts of Oak. I don't know why he keeps him on the bench. Again, you started Berfi ahead of Frederick and Sabotwe. Botwe knows how to play this kind of games. He is more robust, can pick passes. Berfi has not even had his tenure in terms of starting this kind of big games. You give him the opportunity and he didn't live up to the bill. So Boadu, yes, got everything wrong. And for me, just even the back line, there's too many spaces between Mo Alassane and Soa. Now they are creating a lot more mistakes. Just look at this one. Soa with a rash challenge couldn't even get that ball away from danger. And nearly a perfect pass from Razak to Maxwell Abbey. And Abbey hit that ball sweetly well, just straight at the goalkeeper. But again, they are not taking their chances. They are missing from close range. You don't see the telepathy at a point in time. Obi Jr. should have squared a ball to a free ban. And here, just look at the space between Soa and Mo Alassane. No understanding, no telepathy. You must have that. They used to have that understanding at the back last season. This time around, too many spaces between Robert Adusowa and Mo Alassane. It's creating a lot of problems for the defense. Yeah,
it could also be that teams are motivated. Obviously, they are when they play against Hearts of Oak. And one team in particular is Great Olympics. They love to play against the Phobians just to prove a point. And they really made it count with the selection, the setup that Anna Walker put up. They were pressing a lot, giving a lot of pressure to the back four of Hearts of Oak. And that creates a problem. But they had their chances too, Hearts of Oak, didn't they?
That's what I'm saying. They create some chances. They are not clinical enough. Sometimes you don't see the telepathy.
And this was their best play on the day. I think Obeng Jr. was everywhere. He had a lot of the ball. He had a lot of opportunities. But I think in the end, decision-making was his problem. He took wrong options when he should shoot, when he should pass, and when he should just, get closer to the danger area.
And I think around this time, they are missing one key player, Salif Ibrahim. Now, he makes things happy. He makes things tick. He's a mercurial player, can pick passes. His movement has been super for Hearts of Oak this season. Now, just as when he was getting into his groove, he got that injury at the Akon Park, and that has rendered Hearts of Oak with virtually no creativity in the middle now. You see Obi Jr. Coming all the way into the center.
3 against 2 here.
Yes, here. And that's what I'm saying. There's no understanding between the two. Here, you see the frustrations on the face of a free Bania. Here, he should have just slipped that ball through in between him and the defender, and then, of course, the free Bania. But he waited. He kept on holding on to the ball until probably Olympics were organized at the back and they couldn't utilize that opportunity. This has been happening. If you are the defending champions, you need to be much more clinical. This decision-making has also been a problem up front. A free ban here, when was the last time he scored for Hearts of Oak? It's been a while. When was the last time Kofi Koji scored? It's been a while. So they need to get their act together, make sure the chances that they create, they put it at the back of the net.
Okay. Prof. Jude Acheampong is here. The phone lines will be activated in a while so that you can also join in and tell us what's on your mind. Maybe we'll spend 5 minutes at the end to briefly update you on the latest as far as the Black Stars coach is concerned. It looks like a consensus, a deal, an agreement, a truce has been reached between the FA and the Ghana Football Association. Plus, we'll take a look at Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Remember, they lost against the Elmina Sharks, and we've had a look enough. The penalties and the movement of the line and what have you. So maybe not today. But we'll activate the phone line so you can join in. We'll go for a break in a second. When we do that, then we'll talk about that. But very quickly, any more reactions with regards to Kotoko officials, being punished? Any news on that? Because I think some of the players acted way beyond their boundaries.
Yes, we are waiting for the referee's report. I don't really know what has happened with the report from that Elmina Sharks game. Like I told you the other day, Imoro Ibrahim was given a yellow card and then a follow-up red card. It wasn't 2 yellow cards. So we want to see the interpretations from that, whether he is going for 3-match ban or 2-match ban. Because if he's going for a 3-match ban, then clearly he's going to miss the Kotoko House of 4 game at Accra Sports Stadium. But if it is only for 2 matches, he's already served one with Elmina Sharks. He will miss this one against Accra Lions at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Then he'll be ready for the Hearts of 4 game. So we need interpretation. But I know Kotoko have written to the FA about the attitude of the referee in that game against Elmina Sharks. They felt the referee gave them a raw deal, so they have submitted their grievance to the FA. So Kotoko, I'm sure the FA will come back.
Kotoko players could also be punished for their behavior.
Well, if the match commissioner and the referee had that in their report, then of course they will take a good look at it. But don't forget, Kotoko have been punished before after an incident in that game. It was Emmanuel Jemfi who got punished in that game when they played against Dreams FC last season. So they can't come back and also, bring verdicts on those kind of behaviors. But again, Kotoko are hosting Accra Lions. But yeah, it's that kind of a game you can't be complacent if you're a Kotoko player. You must go into that game with your A game. Accra Lions.
They beat Midiama last week, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but under controversial circumstances.
Yeah, that free kick, that goal, which was ruled offside. Yeah. But you see, again, we have the benefit of replays, and officials there don't. I'm not holding brief for them, but clearly it wasn't offside.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And Midiama have lost 3 points. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yes, and that's how bad it is. But Kotoko lost to Elmina Sharks when we thought they were cruising to victory, where we thought nobody can stop them. In fact, they had a perfect away record, and even at home. But they were stopped there in their tracks there at the Indium Stadium. But when you're playing against Accra Lions, themselves had gone 4 matches without victory. They only came back beating Midiama under that circumstance. We are not saying Accra Lions is a powerhouse, but we see Accra Lions go to Nana Juma Bedu Park at Doma to surprise the Diana Stars and hold them to a 1-1 draw. Okay, so it could be anybody's game, and Kotoko must not be complacent in that game.
No, they mustn't at all. Okay, let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at the Porcupine Warriors as they prepare for that home match against the Accra Lions. And then we'll activate the phone lines as well as update you on the latest from the Black Stars camp.
GPL headquarters.
Enjoy the real casino on betboro.com.gh.
Aya woti ya wo be mem ana ya emu hyehyew wo sensu fitaa bi firi mu ba wugu nso ntentem ana ya wugu nso a na emu ache woti ya wo sabi wa ya ase esese wo bobirim se bi ana wo prostate na hu aba hawo aya na wonsa na se wo na ya titiri waposo tutu wo nante a na wa ye dududu wo widiem hyehyew aya se bibi ne na mo widiem e bia na stroke yade na ebo won kaye tie yare bia safe na abesuewo ananso aye krankro endpoint homeopathic clinic ewo nimdi ode beboa wo endpoint ewo Accra Spinters Road Shell signboard Tema Committee 22 Koanaso Hotel echi Kumasi Kronum Abuehia Angel School Complex Takrade Anaji Estate Queen of Peace School echi Techimine endpoint homeopathic clinic ewo Hensa eni Jos Bro filling station ene di hwanim for endpoint homeopathic clinic it was 0244-867-068.
Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
It's an honor. GPL headquarters.
All right, welcome back to GPL headquarters here on Star Times channel 247, also on Max TV. And there's some messages. Lukman Ademola, well, that's international news, so we'll talk about that later on. He's got his nationality switch confirmed by FIFA from England to Nigeria. We'll talk about the Black Stars and, curiously, why people are pushing for a certain coach. But let's focus back on the Ghana Premier League. Kotoko are hurt. They're not happy. And that could be bad news for Accra Lions, the Wounded Lions. Kotoko are the Wounded Porcupines against Accra Lions on Sunday.
You see, it's a tricky game. If you look at the two teams, you might feel Kotoko is way, way above Accra Lions, and that's the truth. In terms of stature, in terms of quality, yes. But this Accra Lions team are a juvenile side. They play with a lot of excitement on their faces. They are not afraid to play their best games. They are always entertaining the crowd. But when they always have their groove on, they're a difficult side, a very tricky side, Accra Lions. And in most of their away matches, they've been very exciting to watch. But at the Papayara Sports Stadium, it's a fortress for Accra Lions. And I don't see them, go there and surprise Kotoko. Now, one thing can only be the problem for Kotoko is complacency. Oh, Accra Lions is just an entertaining team. They are full of young players, and so we can go there and show them that we are Kotoko. No, they must go into that game with their A game. Coach Prosper Nate-Ogum must be fired up, must tell the boys, look, we need to come back to winning ways, and we must show Accra Lions that we are ready for the Ghana Premier League trophy. So that is a game we can't wait to see. Kotoko must be up and doing. And here at the Papayara Sports Stadium, it's Kotoko against R2. In fact,
one thing, sorry not to cut you, one thing we're sure of is that the Accra Lions forwards will be running. They love to run at defenses. And a couple of games we've seen, and in this particular game against RTU, you see that the Kotoko defense at times are caught napping, especially when the opposition floods their area with numbers. Here we see at least 5 blue shirts going in and outnumbering the Kotoko guys. Well, let's say 3. Okay, 5 against 4.
And after this game, the Kotoko backline has been pretty superb. I mean, the understanding, the organization has been A+. So you'd want to give it to them. They are not committing a lot more blunders. But in that game against Elmina Sharks, they committed some silly mistakes. That cross from the left side and the header from Kwao, which got the equalizer for Sharks, should have been well defended. And again, there was loophole between Mubarak and Ganiu. And that's that problem they must sort out. Here, we see them exposed again by RTU from the left side of defense. Kotoko were in trouble. So there's not going to be Moro at left back. I'm sure Patrick Asma is back to training, and so he will feature. Or probably, we don't know, Prosper Nate-Ogum might shift Mo Sheriff to left back. We don't know. But again, they must be very solid at the back. The unity and the cohesion must be there at the back. They must be well organized. For what we saw against Elmina Sharks, it means any team can penetrate that defense. And they are not that too tight for strikers to penetrate. Accra Lions will go into the game without their top scorer, Raul Salifu, who has left for the United States. And so they are not going in there with clinical finishers. They are not going in there with a player who can carry the team on his shoulder, but they have quite a good team. So they play as a unit. They have cohesion in there. And when they have their groove, when they get their day, they are a very exciting team to watch, and they will give you trouble in the middle. But that's where Kotoko must show quality. Up front, Kotoko must be deadly to dismantle this Accra Lions side. Lions are coming back from 4 matches without a win. They only won against Bidiema last week. And so it must be a very difficult game for Lions.
Yep, it will be a difficult game for them. But as underdogs, sometimes underdogs tend to give that extra that would always upset the favorites. We saw that against Hearts Olympics and, Elmina Sharks and Kotoko, no doubt about it.
Lions are not scoring enough. No. They've only scored 12 goals out of 16 matches. And check this out. They've conceded 21. So they're really not good at the back as well. I feel Kotoko will carry the day, but they must not be complacent. They must not come into the game feeling Accra Lions is just a mere team with young players and we are going to beat them. Other than that, they might be laughing at the wrong side of their mouth.
Most times, Prosper Nante gets his tactics right. He's been very, I wouldn't use the word conservative. He plays attacking football. He's almost always on point.
Apart from that loss against Elmina Sharks.
And Kim Faisal.
Kotoko has been very consistent with results. They go to away matches and they grind results. They win and they draw. And so it was pretty difficult to see Kotoko in shambles. When they lost against Kim Faisal, they really bounced back. You've seen a Kotoko playing at the apex. They play with a rehearsed game plan. They are always showing their quality. And for me, that's brilliant. Now, they've lost again to Elmina Sharks. Maybe they will give us streak of wins. So it's very, very dangerous for Accra Lions going to meet Kotoko at this hour.
All right, 0302-750-310. Send us your, call us actually. Yeah, call us, talk to us. Prof. Jude is here. We're here to listen to what you have to say. Just please, turn down the volume on your TV sets so that we can hear you well.
Now, Aduana Stars, I mean, they're playing 11 Wonders. It's like a regional derby.
They started so well. And at a point, after losing to Kim Faisal, they put up a lot of wins, home, away. And then what happened? They've slacked again.
The same thing. They are lacking spirit. They are lacking leadership. Look, players who we know have a lot of quality in them are not stepping up. They are not coming to party. And for me, that is where Aduana Stars might look at. The problem they had, for me, is not coaching problem. You need players to step up. Even the coach can do it. That's why you saw the coach very frustrated when they lost their last game at home. It was like, look, when we lost to Bechem United, we've done everything that we should do at training. Well-rehearsed game plan, come into the game very confident and play your game. And they come there and they play whatever they want.
And Nana always motivates Adriana. But let's take a call. Benghazi is on the line. Good afternoon, Benghazi, or good evening, Benghazi.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Please, I want to talk something more about Asante Kotoko. Please, let me tell the back line, including Daniel Mubarak, Muru or Patrick Asma, and maybe Augustine upon that. When they are playing a certain young team like Accra Lions, they suffered a lot. So, I'm telling them, they should calm down with or without the ball. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you heard what he said.
Yeah, he says when they play a young team like Accra Lions, there'll be a lot of running, so they should calm down. There'll be a lot of pressure.
That's good observation. Accra Lions are the team in the Ghana Premier League with a lot of runs in them anytime they play one single game. They run at width and breadth of the field. The movement is always very sleek and slippery.
Tactically, if they do that against Kotoko could also kill them. They've got players who would capitalize. And let's take a call from Cape Coast. Good evening. Andy, are you there?
Hey, good evening, bro. Yeah, how are you doing?
Charlie, not bad. What's up? What's going on?
By His grace, I'm kicking off.
Okay, we're listening.
The half match last Sunday match, it's not like Hearts didn't play well. Just that they squandered the chance, especially the Obin Junior. He squandered the chances. And then Kotoko, if Coach Rowe will only choose the right players, I don't think this team will be a match for Kotoko. They will massacre them. I'm telling you the truth.
Who's going to be massacred?
I think he's talking about RTU. That
Hearts of Oak
if the
will
coach
massacre.
could pick the right players, he's sure
RTU, right?
Hearts of Oak will massacre RTU in Tamale. It's a tall order, though. RTU themselves are not in good form.
They're not in good form.
But it's good to see those three players, very key to the success of RTU, back in action. Mohamed Sadat, Fusaini. These are key players.
Still hasn't recovered.
No, he's out of this game. He will be back probably and ready for the next round. He started a little bit of light training, so he will be back probably at the start of next round.
It's a big shame that you get a call up to your national team and then you get injured before you come back. He's missed, and he was one of the leading goal scorers. All right, closer home, Kwame JC, how are you? You're on. You're live. Hello, Kwame. We're listening to you.
Good afternoon, Yao.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Well, my greetings to Jude. Yeah, I think I'll be following the discussion since, but I think sports journalists are not doing Ghana football
a favor. You know why? When referees sometimes do the bad officiating on the field, instead of we rather condemning the bad officiating, sports journalists rather sit on the platform and discuss players misbehaving. But we should know that if there is no bad officiating, there will never be a misbehaving on the field of play. Players will never misbehave if there is no bad officiating. Again, let me quickly talk about the Black Stars. With all the lineups of the coaches, Otoado, Wuko, and Kominini, I think the FA or the ministry has to just go in for one competent coach who will come with his own backroom staff. That will help Ghana. And all these kind of coaches, Dramani, whoever, it is too many. Let's go in for one competent coach. My friend, bring your backroom staff and do the job for Ghana. Thank you very much. My regards to Jude.
Awesome. Jude is here. Yeah, good points. I think very valid. He first raised the point that sports journalists, we should focus also on, bad officiating. I think we've done that. We did it quite extensively. And not to focus too much on the reaction of players. Actually, I disagree with that. We should do both.
Yeah.
Players should not
overreact,
cross the line. Your captain, we saw that at the AFCON.
Yeah.
Mo Salah
Yeah.
was not happy with the referee, and the referee said, go back. He said, no, I'm the captain. I can talk, which is allowed. Yeah. His other players had to go back. And indeed, the coaches, the technical people were given red cards and yellow cards for crossing the line. So you can't condone acts of aggression on an official. It's not on, no matter the provocation.
No matter what it is, you must keep your cool, you must keep your calm. We have rules governing this sport. And as a player, you must learn all this.
Awesome. All right, let's go back to the line. Abraham on the line. Hi, Abraham.
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Abraham, this is Abraham again.
Okay.
Yes, I want to, from La Paz, the last time I called on TV. Now, this time around, I really want to say, thumb up to Jude. Jude is really, I love his analysis. He has been very precise. I mean, he's been very frank, and I want to encourage him. I mean, he's done so well. I'm happy for him, and please keep it up.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very timely.
I owe you shawarma.
Awesome. I like that. I like that. Last week he bashed. This week he's commenting.
Yeah,
and that's a genuine fan who's not. We go too far. We don't do enough, and we need to take criticism in good faith.
Yeah, we do. We learn from our mistakes, and we are always trying to improve. For me, this is how we must make sure this is our own. We improve our own. If I do mistakes, I really want to be bashed so I can learn from it. It gives me, the energy to improve. So for me, thumbs up to Abraham as well.
No doubt about that. After the two Kotoko's Jerome Ochre. Jerome is on a campaign of sorts, trying to rally support for the Black Stars, but at the same time, he insists the right thing must be done. Otherwise, the Black Stars will not get the support they need. Sorry, let me take this call. Abraham from Odoko, let's have your views. Go ahead.
My main issue is I like the way Jude is hammering on Sule Ali Nutari. But the issue that we have to face now is if these old guys are coming into the Premier League, he reaches the Premier League, and although he's old, he's above certain ages. But Jude, I really like what you're doing because you are keeping them on their toes. But this is the time that we really need them to boost the league, so our league could be very rich. Although he doesn't have his experience and that he doesn't have the power or the ability to move like his old ages, but yes, when he's among the boys, he can really give us something that will make people love the Premier League. Imagine we have 2-3 old players putting themselves into the Premier League. You see, it gets the Premier League very rich. People will love to watch because they bring certain decency into foot of play. Imagine these China guys and those, when they are going off play, they go back to their town and play in their league. Make the leagues rich. The boys always rush to China to go and play football to make money. So these are some of the things that we need. I would love back to encourage Fulu Mutari and those other guys that are really off from Europe when they come down, they can play the league. I think even for one season, people wouldn't love to watch the league. But you, so I really encourage what you are doing. You keep on hammering on them so that they should know that they are not coming to play. They are not coming to joke on the field. They are coming to play out their heart, even for one season. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, very, very valid. And quickly on the national team as well, the points raised that we should get a very good coach, let him bring his backroom staff, you know. The best coaches in the world at national level, what they normally do is they negotiate. I want my physio, I want my psychologist, I want my nutritionist, I want my whatever it is. And if the association has the funding, they allow that to happen, and they include maybe 2 or 3 extra staff to join that team. You saw the Egyptians, very big squad. Cameroon, you know, Ivory Coast. But we may not have that wherewithal. Otto Addo has been announced. There's so much debate about Otto Addo's status. But again, if you want to do or have a long-term plan, then you look at Senegal. Why are we saying Senegal? Because they had to go to 3 finals to finally get it, and they didn't stop because they believed in Aliou Cissé. So if we believe in Otto Addo, we need to give him time. But is he the right man? Ghanaians are divided on that, and they think that Chris Hughton should be the #1 man. Otto is not an assistant coach at Dortmund. He's a coach, but not the assistant.
See, the hypocrisy is too much here. Let's state facts here. Otto Addo is only coming to play this double header, and he will leave. He doesn't even want to be part of the Ghana technical team after this game. That's emphatic. Now, but ask yourself, what kind of coaches has Ghana hired all these years? For all that we have achieved, what kind of coaches have we hired? Now, compare the coaches we've hired for our Black Stars job and compare them to Otto Addo currently. Otto Addo is way above 90% of the coaches. Now, we hired Bukadziz. He came to transform the Black Stars. Now, check this out. Before he was the head coach of the Black Stars, he had coached in Thailand, Pakistan, Bermuda, Malawi, before he was given that job.
Yeah, way back then.
We brought in Otto Pfister. Before Otto Pfister became the under-17 coach, he was in Finland, then came to Georgia, and then went to Moldova before he was given that job.
Dukovic.
We brought in Eric Larsen. We brought in Peter Gavrila.
The Romanian.
Ismail Ketz.
The Brazilian.
Check, even for Ratomer Dukovic, for Milovan Rajevac.
Dukovic had quit Rwanda, remember?
Check the kind of teams they were coaching and compare them to Otto Addo now.
So the motivation is to get to Ghana and raise your game. This is the big platform.
Now, Otto Addo is a Ghanaian, had played with the Black Stars. He had played at the AFCON 2008, had been with the Black Stars at the World Cup.
2006, he was there.
So check this out. He comes in as a top coach. He has assisted a top managerial coach on the Dortmund bench, the A team, throughout Bundesliga matches before he went back to become trainer scout.
And we've also been told that he did the scouting at the 2014 World Cup Ghana.
When we played against Germany.
Germany, you know.
So with this kind of coach who has a bright future, you only want to be behind him.
But why just one? Why just the double header? Why not long term?
Because Otto Addo has a running contract with Dortmund. The contract has expired. He's in a negotiating table, on a negotiating table with Dortmund. Now, very soon they will extend that contract for another 5 more years. They have believed in him.
Okay.
And so he cannot, because he believes in progression. He needs to learn. He has not gotten there yet.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. I wanted to ask a follow-up. If he hasn't gotten there yet, why doesn't he come to Ghana and start something, give himself 5 years, 4 years? This is my project. I believe in Ghana. Let me leave Dortmund. Let me come to Ghana.
He's not ready for the Ghana project yet.
Why are we bringing him?
In a long time. No, listen, in a long time. Because, but in the long run, he needs to build capacity. He needs to get Jude.
Okay, let's say Otto wins, he supervises a win against Nigeria. We qualify.
Yeah.
Do we do away with him?
Yes, he goes back. That's the agreement. The agreement is that
it doesn't. Does it vote for you?
Dortmund. And I say because we just think to the Black Stars in recent time, no any coach apart from Maxwell Konedu, and when you're a very close.
No,
they don't have belief in him, so he's not part of it. He did Krauman board at executive council meeting. Ibrahim Tanko Dine, Kwesi Appiah, so many years away from the Black Stars, he cannot just come and do magic in just about 1 month time. What did Nigeria do?
Otuado beat me, I imagine.
But because Otuado is the only coach or what bank team in recent times.
Anyway,
he has the
I say a time or so. We were questions we bring out.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not, Otuado is perfectly placed for this game.
Director. Okay, so Otuado is the new coach, right? And the technical director is what's his name? Chris Hilton.
Yeah.
And Didi Dramani.
Hilton will only provide an assist. I mean, an advisory role. He will be in the dugout on the bench when they play.
Right.
Now, not just like the technical director. The technical director cannot be on the bench.
Okay.
But for him being the advisor, he can be on the bench and advise.
Awesome. Well, I'll try and get hold of, Bernard Lipet. He's the technical director currently. He's still in Ghana. We don't know what he's up to, but let's see if we can get hold of him and find out how he fits in this whole equation. Unfortunately, our time is up. Big thanks to Prof. Jude, Acheampong. Big thanks to you guys for calling, and big thanks to you guys for watching. Remember, we begin our Week 17 countdown tomorrow. Well, actually, we start the game tomorrow. Join us at 2 p.m. for that match, and of course, big games coming up. To remind you, the big one, Hearts Kotoko, is in 2 weeks' time, and it will definitely be here on Star Time Channel 247. Bye for now. Have a good evening.
GPL headquarters. It's an art. It's a craft. It's displayed in a ring. Get ready for a fistful of bows. Ghana Professional Boxing League. It's a novelty. Coming soon on Max TV.